Well, we're out here at the farm now. They're putting in a new grain bin. This here is a 24,000 bushel grain bin, and this will be a 32,000 bushel grain bin. This is the slab. They're going to pour this tomorrow morning, and I don't know how many feet across. It looks like about 30 foot or something like that. But anyway, they're going to pour this tomorrow, and then in the next week or couple weeks, they'll build this up. I was kind of surprised to find out how they build these. They build the roof first. They put the roof here, right in the center. You know, after the concrete's poured, they'll put the roof on, and then what they do is in the middle, right in the center, they put a jack, and they jack it up, and it starts looking like an umbrella. And they jack it up, and then they put a ring around here and bolt it to it, jack it up, and that whole ring goes up. They put another ring, and they jack it up and put another ring, and jack it up and put another ring, and they just keep going until they get to the height that they want. Very unique way of, I figured they would start at the bottom and go up and then put the roof on, but they don't. They build them backwards kind of. So anyway, it is hot today. We're gonna run up to a town of Hoxie, Kansas, and he's got to do some bookwork and paperwork for the, oh, I forget. I'll get with it here in a minute, and he'll explain some of this. But he has to register all the different crops and all the farmland he has. He has to, oh, the USDA. He's got to register it all and tell them exactly what crop is on what land and how many acreages and when he planted it and all kinds of information. Seems like the government's got to know every little bit of everything they're doing. So I'm going to run back to the house, pick him up, and we're going to head to town, and I'll get back with you shortly. Hello, all right, later on here, we're in Hoxie, Kansas. We're at the junction of 24 and Highway 23. Here's the crossroads, and here's the USDA. We're right here, and we got to come up and report, or he has to come up and report all the different kinds of crops that he farms each year. Each pasture has a satellite image of it, and he has to report to them how many acres and what kind of crop, when it was planted, whether it's irrigated or not irrigated. And it's all done in order to keep track of all the farm and agricultural progress throughout the year. What they do it for is mainly for insurance. So if there's a huge, let's say there's a huge drought, everybody loses their crops. They want to be able to know what you had planted in that particular field at that particular time, so they know how to, you know, it all works in conjunction with insurance. So if one or two fields gets wiped out by a hailstorm, the insurance would cover that. But if a whole region is covered, it's disaster relief. Almost like floods in Louisiana, this is like drought out here. So that's the main thing that they use it for. But he has to report every acre, and like this year, this particular part of this field was irrigated with wheat. But the corners where the irrigation can't reach, that might be dryland corn or something like that. So anyway, we're up here doing this. We've been doing this all day today. We went to 3 different counties for, he has property in 3 different counties around here, and he's had to go around to each one of those counties and report to them. So it's been an all-day process just doing the bookwork the government wants you to do. So anyway, he's done. He's sitting in the pickup, so we better get to rolling, and see you down the road. Okay, this is a grain cart. Explain what a grain cart is for.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, just tell me like you're talking to me. I can cut this out if you mess up. What's the purpose of a grain cart?
Well, just so our combines, like now when we're cutting, they don't ever stop. They just continuously roll.
All right.
And a tractor pulls this alongside, and we unload into it, and it goes out to the edge of the field to the semis.
Okay, so if you didn't have a grain cart, the combine would have to stop cutting, drive over to the semi, unload, and then drive back across the field to get back where he was cutting again.
Right.
With this, you can keep cutting and have a tractor load on the run.
Correct.
While this is loaded, Then this goes over and loads the semi while the combine keeps cutting and
Correct.
gets the field done quicker.
Yep.
Okay. And why do you have to get it done so fast?
And I like tracks because, like right now, it's muddy. We're waiting for the ground to dry to cut. We try to cut, but the ground's too muddy. So tracks is just more flotation.
Okay.
And you can get in quicker.
Wider footprint.
Yeah. And even when it's dry, it don't pack the ground like tires.
Why is it such a Why are you in such a hurry to get the wheat cut? Why can't you take the time to drive over to that semi? You got to get everything cut in such a short period of time because of weather, possible hail,
storms, hail, a lot of dollars,
and ruin the crop.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. So this is how much does something like this run? The one you had was a 1,300. This is 1,000 bushel. 1,000 bushel, right?
The one we had is about $120,000, roughly new. This one, I'm going to guess. I'm guessing probably around 90,000 for that right there, and that's a estimated guess.
And this just hooks on. Let's see. Run around to the front of this thing. Now these tracks, they're not powered. They just roll along like a free-rolling wheel. And this hooks to the back of a tractor. The tractor be up here, hooked onto that. And then there's the auger. There's an auger in the center that pulls stuff to the front. Grabs this other auger that flips over, and you'll see all this during harvest. But this is one of the new technology ones. Kirk's is an older technology, and it's got great big tires, kind of like the tires that are on that tractor over there. Those big round tires. That's what he has. And I always wondered why they had to use this stuff, and it makes sense now.
Come here.
All right. we got a visitor. Squatter. So, and what's that sticker up there, closed and open? That's the valve inside or something?
There's a gate inside, so like if your grain cart won't be completely empty, yet the semi's full, you close the gate to empty out the big auger so you can shut it off and fold it back, basically. So,
well, that's
really
pretty
nice.
cool.
Really nice.
What else is on this is for next year? You're going to buy one of these next year, you think?
That's the hope.
That's the plan, huh?
That's the hope.
So after this, what's your next big purchase? Another combine someday or another tractor?
New air seeder to drill wheat.
Okay, all right. We'll get into that some other time. This is Farmer Shoppin. You know how you'll go to a car lot and buy a pickup or something, you pull in and just drive down the aisle looking, boy, look at that red one, look at that green one, ooh, look at that, ooh, yeah. Farmers do the same thing, implements. He's driving through this parking lot and all these different implements and stuff. What is this right in front of us?
Strip till rig.
Strip tiller?
We have one like that bigger one over there. In the fall we put fertilizer in the ground in about November. Okay. We put fertilizer in the ground on what will be corn the next year. Pull a fertilizer tank behind it.
All right, now one of these combines here, it's about like Bob's. He owns Cook owns two combines, an older one and a newer, 99 and a I don't know, it's 2010 or 11. Okay, all right. So he's got an older one, and what are these, about the same size?
The second one is the
2388,
like our older one.
Okay. And then he's got a newer one, which is a, what is it, a
8120.
8120, and it's more like this one down here. It's even bigger than that one straight ahead, right there in the center of the screen. That's a newer version, but Kirk's is a older version, but bigger. But yeah, just all these different things. Like, what's this right here?
It's called a turbo tiller. It's just another way of working your ground.
To kill the weeds?
Yep. Okay. To kill the weeds. Everybody's looking.
All right.
Now there's another one. What we use a strip till in the fall. That's just folded up. That's exactly like what I have.
Okay, that right there.
Yep. It's just folded up.
Okay. Now this right here is a sweep.
Yep.
And the sweeps. Yep. See the little triangles? I'll get to you on the sweeps. We got that at home. I'll show you. We got bigger ones than that at home. That's a, what is that? What's that called? A 2 foot by how many?
I don't know. That's 28 foot. Wide.
But it's got small wings.
2 foot blades.
It's got 2 foot blades, and yours have what, 4 and 6 foot, or 3 and 4 foot?
We got some 6 foots, we got some 4 foots, and we got some of that. We got the exact same one there, just bigger. Okay. So they just have different sizes available, just preferences, or they do different work. Pretty much, they do different jobs.
Okay.
But a lot of it's farmer preference.
Okay. What's this gizmo straight ahead?
Fuel tanks, big fuel tanks.
Oh, for
just
like
hauling fuel out to the field, to the combines or to the tractors.
Okay, instead of like you tank in the bed of the pickup or something,
right.
It's just a bigger version.
Yep.
And in that door right there, that'd be the pumps.
Yep, that's where the pumps are, and sometimes they even put air compressors in there for like blowing out air filters or blowing stuff off. And,
wow.
So.
What's that big combine weighing the back there? Is that one about your size?
That's one like what we have.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get to it later in another video when we're actually out cutting. I'll show you his what they call a draper head. That combine has a draper head on it. So.
See, this Tilbert till, I was actually looking at one kind of like that, except for bigger. That's about a 30 foot or 32 foot. I'd like to have a 40 foot one.
Okay.
And it's just another way of working the ground.
And chopping up weeds during summer fallow and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, okay. And I'd use it first thing in the spring, just to, it don't really turn the ground over, it just kind of chops up some of the stubble that's already laying there.
Okay.
So.
This is just a disc, right? Just a big disc?
Yeah, now that turns the ground over. That's what that's designed to do.
That's kind of halfway between a strip till and a plow. Yeah. It's not quite as severe as a plow, but it's more severe than like these sweeps. And it actually chops the ground and actually turns it over to some extent, whereas like a plow would do. Why don't you use plows up here?
Conserve moisture.
If you turn the dirt all the way over, it's exposing the wet underneath, and it dries the ground out more.
Takes too much moisture out.
Very good. Well, this is the candy store for farmers. We're in Hoxie, just to let you know. They're in Hoxie at the junction of Highway 24 going east and west, and Highway 23 going north and south. And we're right at the junction of that, and this implement dealer is on the northwest corner of that interchange, or intersection. So, but yeah, there's probably $1 million or more, or hell, probably more than that. How many millions of dollars worth of equipment on this one lot? You know,
probably $15–20 million
in here. And most of that's in tractors and combines. But you were telling me that like this head right here, how much is that worth on one of these new draper heads?
This head right here, brand new, is probably about 80 or 90,000. The combine hooked to it is probably about 400,000.
Wow, and that's new prices.
So right there's almost $500,000 sitting right there. If it's all brand new.
Okay, so that one's not new. Fairly new.
The head isn't. The combine, don't know.
It's awful clean.
It's fairly. It's only a year old, if anything. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Everything costs money.
You gotta spend money to make money.
Gotta pay to play.
Oh, go over by that Kinsey.
Yeah.
We were over here earlier at the other dealer just down the road showing you the grain carts. Here's a grain cart the same size as what he demoed last fall, but this one has wheels on it instead of tracks. I'll show you that right there. See how it's got those great big wheels, dual wheels, okay, versus tracks. And the tracks, it's got dual wheels instead of the tracks, and the tracks leave a bigger footprint, so it's less compression on the ground, less chance of getting stuck for one, but also less chance of pushing and packing the dirt. So maybe I'll explain that a little later too when we're out in the field.
There again, there's about $100,000 sitting right there.
That thing costs $100,000.
They're probably really, really close to that.
Holy crap! They make those in Iowa, right?
That one there is,
yeah, they make that in Iowa. It's right off of I-80 up there in Iowa.
If it had tracks on it, it'd be $120,000, $125,000.
Man, oh man.
So,
and then there's a Parker and a Demco.
Yep.
And a Kinsey again. What's the one on the end's probably another one of those.
Yeah.
Like a Demco.
I think it's a Demco, yeah.
Yeah, just the same as that, yeah. Yours has the big tires, like one single big tire, right? Yep. Okay, whereas these have dual tires, and then the newest ones have the tracks.
Yep. There again, the single tires are the cheaper grain carts, but they compress the ground the most. The duals
spread the weight out,
put more surface on the ground, spreads it out a little more, and then the tracks are just the best.
Yeah, they spread it out even more. Right. Why wouldn't they put duals and then another set of duals up front? You actually have 8 tires.
I don't know.
Just too heavy or too hard to turn, maybe?
They design it. I just use it.
There you go. All right. So, what are those gray things over there?
Them are gizmo meters.
Okay. He's got to be a smart aleck. You got to be a smart aleck, I tell you. So. Oh, what's that thing over there?
It's an airplane.
Airplane. It's an airplane.
These are like a swather kind of thing.
What's a swather do?
Well, I guess they kind of cut off or chop up like straw, and they put it in the windrow and go bale it. I guess.
Oh, so that's for hay. Baling hay.
Never used one of them fancy gizmo riggers.
All right. It rained on, well, all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It rained around here. And up here around Hoxie, how much rain did they get?
I'm not sure. We got around 3 inches at
So they got a little less up here. We got more down south, and the ground is muddy to go out there and get stuck. And we're waiting for the ground to dry out. Well, it hasn't. The wind hasn't blown. It's hot, but all day Monday and Tuesday was overcast kind of, and really didn't get that hot. So we're waiting on, today is 105 degrees, but there's no wind. It is drying out, but when it starts, it's just like anything else. You hang your laundry out to dry. If it's windy, your laundry dries just real fast. And the ground is the same way. So we're waiting for tomorrow. Thursday, supposed to have some wind. We'll probably be cutting tomorrow afternoon or Friday by lunch. And then after that, it's balls to the walls for about a week. Just cut. So, all right.
10 days.
10 days. I'm going to be around for about a week. I'm going to quit early. He don't know that, so don't tell him. What?
Stan,
What?
passing out from the Kansas heat and humidity. This could be his last vlog. Look, he's soaking.
All right, people, do yourself a favor. Don't get old.
He's soaking
You
wet.
can get fat, but don't get old.
So, Stan, how does actual work compare to sitting in a truck field today? Do.
Don't make me laugh. I'll pass out.
Reporting from possibly Stan's last vlog. If he passes out, I'll grab the wheel. I'll push him out a little. I'll be okay.